gorgeous goddesses. This is Goddess Leonie from goddessguidebook.com, and it's time for another Mama Goddess update. I did originally plan on doing these once a week, and just as things have progressed, I really needed to talk about it every week, because every week was so different, especially in the first trimester. But as I kind of settle into second trimester, things have calmed down quite a lot, and it feels like it's not as many hard lessons come up consistently, and not as many baby changes and body changes and oh my goodness kind of freak out. So if you're in second trimester, congratulations, dear heart. I hope you're feeling radiant and well. And it's funny, I've just been staring at the computer going, maybe you should, I don't know, do your hair more prettily or try and look more like a goddess, Leonie. But I thought, you know what, that goes against this whole project of being really honest and open and saying things as they are and showing them as they are, especially during the Mama Goddess journey. So I think it's probably been maybe a month or so since the last video, and the significant changes that have happened since then, just this last week, so 18 weeks, I started feeling baby move for certain. Like before, it was really on and off, and not really sure if it was baby moving or just kind of little twinges. But I seem to have skipped past the stage of you know, butterflies, and I felt like a few little butterflies, but now I just feel like there's just a human inside me. And I can feel him move around, you know, a lot, and I can feel where he is in the belly, and I can feel when he does like a big movement, and I can feel when he presses against the side of my uterus, and yeah, I feel where he is, and I've just started being able to just press on my belly to find out where he's sitting. And Chris has just been able to start feeling it too. So it's less of like a kick and more you can just kind of, if you press your palm on it, you can just, first you had to kind of press in, and then you'd be able to feel the head or the bum or something just underneath the surface. It'd be like it'd be hard instead of kind of softer. But now if you put your palm and just quite firmly, you can feel like a rolling movement of the other skin underneath it. So it's pretty amazing. The way I found out that I could feel from the outside actually was, I was standing in the bathroom mirror just after I gotten out of the shower, and I realized when I turned sideways I could see my belly like doing a ripple. So it was pretty cool. It was quite amazing actually. And it feels really nice to be able to feel him so strongly. And why am I saying him? I'm not really sure. We don't know what we're having yet. We do find out soon though. I just keep, you know, feeling like it's him. But I keep on saying, and if you're a girl, it's totally cool too. You know, it's totally fine if Mummy's mistaken. I'll be delighted and surprised if it is a girl, and I'll be just delighted and, you know, going, well, I knew it was a boy if it is a boy. So I'm 100% happy to be right and 100% happy to be wrong, because it's whatever it is, it's just perfect. Just feel like it's a boy. What else? Oh yes, in a week next week my beautiful parents have decided to fly down across the country, which is really wonderful. And they're going to actually be with us at our first ultrasound at 5 months, and we'll be finding out what we're having, and we'll be finding out also if we're having twins. And I don't think we are, but because we didn't get any testing done at the start, we still don't know for sure. And because of because of genetics, we apparently have about a 1 in 8 chance of twins, which is just hilarious. So yeah, it's going to be really beautiful, and I'm very blessed. My little sister is going to come down as well, and we find out by the ultrasound. I've actually booked it for my 27th birthday, so I felt like it was going to be a really beautiful surprise for myself to see our first child for the first time, and also to find out what we're having. And yeah, it feels like a really perfect way to start my 27th year. I feel like 27 is a really important year. For me, I've always kind of seen 27 as a year of great change. Obviously, it's when Saturn return comes through, if you know about Saturn return. And I feel like it's when you become a true adult. So you kind of step a little bit further out of youth and into adulthood, and I think that's a really exciting and beautiful thing. I wanted to talk to you about the whole waiting to find out, or finding out through the ultrasound what gender of the child that we're having, because I know it's not, well, I don't know, it's not really a contentious issue because it's not really that big a deal. But you know, you do get kind of, people have strong feelings either way, which is totally fine. Hello, Angel. Oh, darling, did you just have dinner? Say hello. So, I mean, I completely understand when people decide they want to leave it as a surprise. You've been out in the wet grass. I can totally understand when people want to leave it as a surprise. Yes, good girl. And superhero. She's come back. Yeah. Good girl. If we stay really still, maybe she'll leave. She has. And yeah, I completely honour somebody's choice is to leave it as a surprise. I thought when I was younger that I would leave it as a surprise. But the thing that changed me was my brother and sister-in-law, my beautiful sister-in-law, when they had their child, they decided to find out what they were having, and it was so exciting for the whole family. We just got so excited, and we were excited about having a child anyway, but we were just so over the moon about having a niece, and like we just felt like we loved her, and you know, I don't know, we felt really connected in a really interesting way, and yeah, it was just really beautiful. And you know, Chris has been through that with my family, and you know, so we had no doubt whatsoever that we wanted to find out as soon as possible what we were having, just so that we can feel like we were able to more connect with that child spirit. And you know, gender isn't the most important thing, but you know, it's a glorious choice for us, and we totally feel like it's the right thing for us, so that's what we're doing. And we're really excited about it, really excited to be finding out. Yes. So I just wanted to say that whatever you and your partner choose, that's awesome and perfect, and it doesn't need to be any other way. And however you want to do this journey, it's just glorious. So total power to your choices and what's really right for you. So yay! Yes, the second trimester for me has been much less physically difficult. First trimester for me was really challenging, really challenging. And I look back and think I was really sick during that, and it was like being totally forced into a cave of stillness, and I feel like I had to go there in order to give our child the space and the stillness that it needed in order to come through. Because I really remember that I was just like I felt like a very sick bear who needed to hibernate in her cave and not do anything. I was so sick I couldn't read, I couldn't watch television. It all made me nauseous. So I just had to really just be and tend to myself and my wounds and my body, and really listen to that instinct, that instinctual part. So that instinct word keeps coming up for me, that my body will instinctually tell me what it wants, and I'll instinctually know in my soul what's the right thing for me and what's the right thing for our family and Bubba. Yeah, so how do our instincts? Yeah. Emotionally, this has been more challenging for me, and it's funny, most of it I don't actually feel is related to the pregnancy. I feel so happy to be pregnant, and I had a really off week last week where just a whole lot of things were not going well, but they were all outside of the realm of outside of my baby, outside of my belly space. And so it's kind of been just a place of joy for me. And whenever I feel our little sweetie move around, and it's just a reminder to be present, and it just feels like a very beautiful, that's the right word. I want to say companionship, but it's not really companionship either. Anyway, it is what it is, but it is beautiful. I think a lot of the emotions that have come up have been around feeling really fragile and vulnerable for the first time, and really needing my partner to be my partner. And he completely, totally is. It just this worry instinct crept in at some point of this total paralyzing fear that that I wouldn't always have Chris, and it was really hard. I think just because before I've always been totally I'd be happy to be a monk if I wasn't with Chris. But now having something inside me that is both of ours, and something that we'll always share for the rest of this life, it's like I just this amazing emotion came in that I need him around me. I'm trying really hard to say this without it sounding really awfully codependent. But I just need his energy around, and I really want to feel like it's very stable, and it's something that I can rely on. And I know that I can, and we've been together for a long time, and he's as stable as a rock. But it's just been these fears that have come up that I've had to process, which has been really interesting. And I never really like to blame emotions on hormones, because I want to take responsibility for my own emotions, and seek out the medicine and the lessons in them. So whatever the hormones brings the emotions and the lessons and the medicine that I need to learn at the time. So hope. Also still been very cave bearish in a lot of ways. There's been a few places and spaces where I've had knocks on my cave door of people wanting to come in that I've had to, well, I've just said no to, really. And it was challenging, but it was good to follow that instinct and go, you know what, actually, I just need to keep my energy like here in this little circle, and outside of that, all I can really deal with and want to deal with and want to interact with is, you know, that very small circle around me that includes Chris and my family members and you know, the very small tribe of friends that, you know, I've been able to rely on for, you know, a few years, and just to have that constancy. I can't do any drama or wrapped up energy or like any energy that feels like it wants to tangle with mine. I'm no, can't do. I'm really busy, and I'm really busy incubating this energy and holding this space for myself and for the mother that's being born and for this child that is growing inside me, and needs, you know, he needs this space too. He needs this time, and he needs to know that it's totally okay to listen to his instinct and his intuition and just be around people who are the right energy for him. Following on from the instinct thing, I've been really interested about how my diet has been, and I've talked quite a bit about my vegetarianism, and I've always been more of a flexitarian, in that I'm vegetarian pretty much, you know, like 98% of the time, but I really don't beat myself up if my body craves something and I want to eat something, if I want to eat meat. And so I've been kind of following that same flexitarian attitude, and I did eat a lot of meat at the start of the pregnancy because I felt like I had to, I should eat meat now and it'll get my iron levels up, and that didn't feel like it worked for me. It felt like I started having nightmares and stuff again, which is part of the reason I stay vegetarian. And so I've been just listening to my intuition, giving my body whatever it needs, and it goes through stages. You know, it tells me exactly what it wants to eat and when, and if I don't listen to it, then I throw up. As in, like, if I don't eat within that specified amount of time. So like one morning a couple of weeks ago, I haven't been feeling nauseous at all, just kept on putting off having breakfast. I'll just have it in 10 minutes. I'll just have it in 10 minutes. And so by the time I got to the kitchen and was looking for something to eat, it was too late, and so I threw up on the kitchen floor. And yeah, so body very much distinctly says, no, you're listening to me now. You're really listening to me. Get out of your head. You're listening to me now. So that was a really interesting lesson. I went through a stage where all I ate for a week was, oh no, I'm feeling nauseous again. I should never talk about nausea, really. Okay, I'll make this quick. Oh, it's the whole subject of food. It does it to me. This is hilarious. Anyway, all I could eat was green beans, and then this week all I've been able to, well, all my body wants is sausage rolls, and I usually do not like sausage rolls. I never liked them before I even became vegetarian, but I have been hoofing in to sausage rolls like they are a long lost lover, and I've been all over them as long as I've got tomato sauce. And now I'm going to stop talking about food because it's not very. Alright, okay, this is fun. Okay, back again. I just had a drink of water. I should be fine for at least another 7 minutes. Yes. Um, so that was, yeah, following that instinctual thing. I've also been finding myself feeling more, what's the right word? Feeling increasingly uncomfortable about being really out there in the world and putting too much energy out there. And usually I'm able to put out quite a bit of energy, but I've just been finding this when I hadn't been listening to it, and my inside part was, no, it's all good. um, I was starting to feel increasingly grouchy about too much outside communication and too much having to do too much. You know, especially in my business, and that was a real shock to me because my business is something that I adore and love, and it's been my big dream for so many years, and I needed some more clarity around what was going on for me. So I had a really wonderful reading, and whenever I feel like I'm out of alignment, I do go and talk to women who like to wise women, just so that I can get like I call it like a soul realignment, or if I really haven't been listening, an ass kicking from Great Spirit, just so that I can go, oh, okay, I get it now, thank you. And so I had a reading from the beautiful Tanishka from starofishtar.com, and she's a beautiful Scorpio soul that I've met once before, and I just felt like she was the right one. And we had a really beautiful, profound reading, and it kind of set me back on track again. And the thing I realized during that reading was I have been thinking that I could continue on my life as normal. Yeah, I could keep on doing exactly what I was doing and try and keep achieving. After Bay was born, and next year, and Tanishka's beautiful reading kind of made me realize, hang on, you need some space in order for this miracle to be born, and you need some time to really soak in that initiation into motherhood, because it will be a massive soul and life change and transition and initiation. And once I started seeing it as an initiation for my soul, I was better able to understand it, and better able to understand what it would need from me and from my life and my business in order to take place. This is going to be the biggest soul transformation and initiation that I've had in a very long time. I think probably from child to maiden. Yeah. Anyway, it's going to be big, and just talking to Tanishka about it, I realised I really need to make some space in order for that to happen, and create some ways that I can give out my work to the world and still help women discover the goddess inside them, but do it in a way that's less taxing on my energy, so that I can give out, and then that message and that story and those tools and wisdom can go out and do its own work in the world without me needing to push behind it. So yes, I'm still working out what that looks like and how that's going to be. But it feels like a good way to go. So, dear goddesses, that's my journey so far as a mama goddess, a pregnacious one, birthing her way into motherhood and into the next part of the journey, and into bringing a beautiful new soul into this world. when I think back to when me and Chris decided to conceive, it was less of a mental decision, and more of a, we just knew that it was the right time for this soul to come through, and it feels like it has been, and it feels like this soul was meant to come through, and right at this time and this point in our lives. So it's pretty amazing, pretty sacred. Alright, before I go, we should do belly shots. Belly shots so you can see live. Live. Ugh, we can do this. Yeah, we can do this. I'm now, so if you pass me in the street and I'm wearing kind of a more form-fitting shirt, you can probably tell I'm pregnant. Because it's just got that noticeable like hump now. A hump, a hump, a hump. So it's looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. And it's kind of all hard. I feel like a little bit of a turtle. And yeah. Alright, beautiful. This is really fun to share this journey with you, and thank you for being here, and for being your beautiful selves, and for spreading your light into the world. Mwah.